Hello, this is Mr. Dufresne, and I'm back with the melodic contour unit. This is our last lesson in the unit, a good melody. We're putting it all together. Our objective today, the students will understand what a good melody is, understand what a counter melody is, review, understand what a scale is, ostinato, riff, peak, valley, understand that music has shape, which is our definition of melodic contour, understand the difference between a step, skip, leap, repeated note, and silence or rest. Understand that anytime we have a leap, we resolve that by step. We're demonstrating and learning about high and low on a keyboard instrument, and strong beats, weak beats, back beats. So understanding is demonstrated through improvisation and composition in edu.bandlab.com. All right, so this is what I think goes into a good melody. It's mostly made of steps, is singable, does not have very large leaps, uses silence, repeated notes, skips, and or leaps, resolved by step to hook the listener. So we want your melody, or our melody, to be something that the listener can remember. That creates that kind of earworm where they hear it and it stays with them. So much so that they go home or they get on their device and they buy your song for 99 cents or $1.29, and you're on your way to making $90 million a year like Taylor Swift or some of these other pop stars. All right. So that's what, according to me, that's what a good melody is. All right. It's singable because it's mostly made of steps. It's singable because it does not have very large leaps. That makes it difficult for somebody to sing. If they can't sing it, they're not going to be able to remember it. All right, and this is the stuff that if it's only made of steps, it ends up sounding like a scale, right? And that becomes boring. As we were in lesson 10 and 11, we were using the scale to create an interesting melodic line. All right, so the silence, the repeated notes, or skips, or a leap, resolved by a step, that's what really creates that hook that they remember. All right, a counter melody is just a secondary melody that relates to the first melody, but it's not as important. It's subordinate. All right, so counter melody. So it's just not quite as important, but it makes things more interesting. All right, and a scale, as we studied in the last two lessons, a succession of musical notes that proceed up and down by step, making up an octave. We will use, again, ostinatos or riffs, right? Repetitive accompaniment pattern, a series of 3 to 5 notes that repeat over and over. Those ostinato and a riff are just two different ways to say the same kind of concept. I mentioned that a riff is a term that's more commonly used in popular music, rock and roll, jazz, and blues. Ostinato is a little more common of a term in classical music. All right, we've got our peaks and valleys. That's review. Melodic contour is shape. The rest of this is review here. You can access this document at any time. It's attached to the BandLab assignment, and it's also now with the video in Google Classroom. All right, so we're going to have 6 tracks. This is the step-by-step unabbreviated process here. So if you have any questions that are not apparent in the assignment brief, then you can click in here. All right, I will just point out that we're using piano sounds in tracks 1 and 2. So let's get started. All right, so we're putting it all together now. Everything we've learned in this unit, we're going to kind of call upon to create our good melody. All right, use the piano as input source, as I said, for tracks 1 and 2. Using what you have learned in this unit, compose a good melody. In track 2, we're going to create a counter melody. So you can change anything here. I'm going to use my vibraphone sound. All right, So remember, I said mostly made of steps. So improvise some ideas. All right, I think I'm ready to give it a try. Oh, sorry. What did I do? I didn't change the metronome. I didn't enable the metronome. All right, so let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's listen back. So far, all steps. Silence. Little skip there. All right. Track. Add a track. And I'm going to go with the same sound here, but you can change it if you like. If you want to change this, the grand piano, to whatever you like. I'm going to go with the same one. All right, now I'm creating a counter melody. Right, so it's got to be subordinate. So I don't want it to take away from the first track. So I'm going to plan on using much more silence in this. Still want it to be mostly made of steps and all the things that go into a good melody. But I don't want it to take away. Right, I'm going to kind of improvise this. You can take, I want you to spend a good portion of time working with this. We're going to have 2 days to work on this assignment. You're putting it all together. I want to really see what you can do with this, but I don't want to spend too much time of your time with me improvising ideas here. So hopefully you can hear how that really did kind of, was a counter melody. All right. I was listening very intently to what was happening with the first track, and I was trying to play against that or play off of it. Okay, so the rest of the tracks here are the ostinatos riffs that we've been doing. Um, Track 3, 4, 5, and 6 just mimics exactly what we did in assignment 11 with the scales. All right. And I am really using from this C major scale of all white keys. So I am thinking about kind of that scale as I'm playing. Obviously, I'm not playing all the way up and down as we kind of studied the scales in the last two exercises. Now we get to change instruments here. All right. Piano, guitar, strings. All right, so I wanted to kind of do this quickly so that you can get to composing. I'm going to go with the string sounds. I'm going to go with the violin. All right, three note. We need a three note ostinato. So 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm going to leave a little bit of space in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, hit the touchpad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So do you see what happened there? I have rarely done this. I see students do this all the time. Somehow I turned that cycle button on. I don't know how I did that. I didn't try to do that, but that's why it went as far as the cycle had hit, and it was just recycling back. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2. Okay, add a track. We're going to create a 4-note ostinato or riff. And I said I was going to leave some space in there. I did in a way because we had long notes, but there wasn't really any rests. So now I'm going to go with the cello here. And this time I really am. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just like assignment 11, drum kit for track 5, a 3-note ostinato. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time coming up with one, so you can improvise. 3, 4, 1, 2, ready. And add a track, another drum kit track. Choose the same drum kit. I kind of use this cinematic one a lot. I like it. All right, so now I had some kind of low toms. So now I'm going to go with a So I'm using the P and the O. So there's the more of the cymbal-y sound, just the ride cymbal that rings, followed by the bell. One, two, three, 4, 1. Something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a little carried away, added too many notes. One, 2, 3, 4. And just listen to that all together. Okay, now, so I'm going to lower these ostinatos. If I was thinking about like a hierarchy of what's most important, track 1 is the most important. Track 2 is the next most important. Then the next 4 tracks, I don't think any one is more important than the rest. They all kind of create a groove. But this, I felt like this one was really too loud. It's got that long note, so I'm going to bring that one down and this one and bring the drums up a little bit. And I could spend a lot of time, but you've got, after I'm done with this lesson here, you've got the rest of the time today and a whole nother day. I want you to really spend a lot of time putting what you know all together for me. I want to get a good idea of what you learned in this unit. So don't rush through it. Take your time. We'll just listen to this one time and then I will let you go. go back to our objective. A good melody, putting it all together. The students will understand what a good melody is. Mostly made of steps, is singable, does not have large leaps, and use rests or silence, repeated notes, skips, leaps followed by resolved by step. Any of those going in to create a hook that the listener is going to remember. We want to create something that's memorable. All right, so that somebody hears your song, they're in love with it, they want to purchase it on iTunes or CD Baby or whatever you're wherever you're buying music from, band, Bandcamp, you know. Um, that's the idea behind creating a good melody. Understand what a countermelody is. It's a secondary melody that is subordinate, not as important as the primary melody. Right? And the rest of this are just things that we've been covering over the last 11 assignments. Scales, ostinatos, and riffs, which are the same thing, just a different way, two different words to talk about the same thing. Peaks and valleys, understanding that music has shape, and that's our definition of melodic contour, which is this unit. Make sure you understand that. The definition of melodic contour is music has shape. Right? We want to understand the difference between steps, skips, leaps, repeated notes, silence, how to resolve a leap, which is by step, and we're getting familiar with up and down on the keyboard. And we didn't really do anything with strong beats and weak beats in this particular lesson, but we did in this unit. So can access this as a study guide. After this assignment, we're going to have a unit test on the whole thing. So come back and access this document. And that's all. I hope you've enjoyed the melodic contour unit and gotten some things out of it that if you're composing your own music, this is things that go into a good melody. All right. Thank you very much and have a nice day.